and welcome to ACS Golf and this Friday review, which can only mean one thing, and we're reviewing a new club for 2023. Remember, normal reviews every Sunday for other clubs that aren't necessarily brand new, so do remember to hit that subscribe button to make sure you do not miss out on any of that. Now, the club we're talking about today is this, the Big Bertha 23. Now, this was actually released in August of this year, and I believe it's going to be running the whole of next year as well. So unlike the Paradigm, which is going to be changed next year, this is going to be staying the current model. And the reason why I wanted to pick it up is I've seen some really good reviews from this. I've seen Michael Newton, if any of you guys have heard of him, go and watch his channel out. He's a PGA professional, it's very good. And he put this up against the Paradigm. So not the Paradigm X, the Paradigm, and this actually beat it. And it's, well, brand new, the Paradigm was just done about £600. This brand new I've seen going for around 449, 429 as well. So, you know, over £150 cheaper. So it makes you think, hold on, why pick up a Paradigm at a greater expense when I can pick up this Big Bertha and have better performance with it? So that's why I wanted to pick it up, and that's why I'm reviewing it for you guys. So as always, we're going to have a closer look at the club. Then we'll come back here, talk about all the technology, get down to the range, I'll throw some figures at you, and then we'll go through the ACS Golf scale, and I'll let you know what I think of this club and who potentially should be playing it. You know, I think I could put it in the bag, or if, you know, as a 10.9 handicapper, or if I think, you know, it's really aimed at those higher people, you know, higher handicappers, 20 plus, etc. So there you go. Now, as always, let's have a closer look at this club. So there you go, a closer look at the club, and I really do like the bottom of it. Looks very smart, very cool, that red sort of black and grey top. I like that little line there, the BB. I'm not a massive fan of the head shape though. I'm really not. I know it's that sort of ultra forgiving look, but I much prefer something a little bit more squat. So not a fan of the head shape at all, but some of you guys will be watching this and prefer that because it just gives that bigger profile. One thing I will add though quickly is the head game is strong. Look at that. Big Bertha down the sides. Feels really premium. Lovely and soft inside. Great head game there from Callaway. Well done. That's brilliant. And one thing I will add as well, be aware of this. So some of the drivers this year, especially the Stealth, have a little bar across the top of their head. So if you sky, it's not the end of the world. You don't really notice it. This, and also the Paradigm does it as well. This, though, does not have that sort of shell across the top. So if you sky it, you're going to notice it. So just be warned about that. Now, going into all technology about this, I'm going to read the spiel of Callaway's website because I just enjoy doing this. And it gives you a good insight of what they're aiming to do with this club. So, starting off, it says, introducing Big Bertha driver. Make every shot your best with our easiest to hit clubs. So Big Bertha is one of the most iconic names in golf, providing game-changing performance and making the game more fun for players of all abilities. Our new Big Bertha driver is especially designed with an ultra-low forward CG with central gravity for players who want to reduce their slides to a straight distance and an easy launch. From the generous profile, there you go, to a high-strength XL face, these drivers are built for more confidence and for players to find more fairways. So features and benefits. So going into this straight off the bat. So straight distance and slice reduction from ultra low forward CG with central gravity. So for players who are fighting a slice, Big Bertha brings game-changing technology off the tee, a low and forward CG, so central gravity, so shifted the weight actually to the front of this face, which you normally find with low spinning drivers, you know, the best drivers out there. You don't necessarily see that with a big game improvement driver. So the idea is they've done that is to help reduce the spin that can cause a slice. Big Bertha also utilizes weight in the heel, there you go, to promote hitting a draw. Now that's quite normal with any sort of draw setting drivers. You know, the HD, which is tailor-made sort of the high draw, forgiving driver, they'll all have weight there. But going into that CG, so that lower spin, now someone like me who has a really poor attack angle, I need a bit of spin because it helps keep the ball in the air and get that distance, because I don't have a launch angle. In a launch angle, you want sort of 14, 15 plus, really, sort of, and then below sort of 18 if you want optimal distance. For me, I'm on average, especially on a course, 11, 12. So I want a bit more spin to help the ball go a bit further and stay in the air for longer. So straight off the bat, well, hold on. If you're looking at that, that's not great, is it? And I've read some of the reviews about this as well, and they're saying compared to other draw drivers, because the majority of draw drivers, they're actually high spinning, because high spin actually normally leads to more forgiveness across the face. Don't get me wrong, obviously, your draw is your sort of lower spin shot and your fade is your higher spin shot. So obviously that does mean that without that weight there, you could end up with quite a bad slide still. And they were doing this test, and compared to other draw drivers, it was 400 to 500 RPM lower spin, which is quite a big margin there. But obviously that's what Callaway want to do. I mean, this is also, let's be honest, aimed at every golfer who might not have the swing speed, to generate enough spin. So then suddenly having that lower spin already is a bit of a worry. But I mean, obviously, let's be honest, Callaway know what they're doing over me, so fair enough. That's what they've gone for. Anyway, moving on. They've got a large forgiving sweet spot from the AI designed high strength XL face. So Big Bertha's XL face features a larger sweet spot and uses cutting edge AI technology to optimize speed and spin across the face. So there you go. The idea that yes, it might be a little bit low spinner, but you're going to get the same across the whole face, which obviously will help, because with a lot of drivers, your spin can really drop down if you start missing that face and the ball won't go anywhere. Moving on, fast ball speed from the new lightweight jailbreak AI. An all-new lightweight jailbreak system has been enhanced to deliver stability and incredible fast ball speed across the face. So there you go, jailbreak, which was introduced with the Big Bertha. What's it called? The Big Bertha Great Big Bertha Epic. There you go. Great Big Bertha Epic from 2016 when they first brought that in, and they've kept it since because it's a great bit of technology. Keep on going. So incredible forgiveness from a confidence-inspired Bertha shape. So that the generous stretch profile and large forgiving head shape. Big Bertha inspires confidence and promotes incredible forgiveness. There you go. And an easy distance from a lightweight package featuring a tri-axle carbon crown and lightweight components around here. Big Bertha is designed from the ground up to be easy to swing. So I think that's what they've done as well, is they've really tried to strip out the weight and make it lighter, so that obviously then you can increase your spin a bit if the club's lighter, because you're going to be swinging that a little bit faster. Going on to the specs of this club, you can get it in 9 degree, which is adjustable 8 to 11 degrees. You can go down one and go up two, sorry. All 460cc, obviously. 10.5, which I have here. You can go down to 9.5, so 1 degree, and go up to 12.5, which is great. And then the 12.5, which you can only get right hand only. You can go down to 11.5 and up to 14.5. And the shaft. So these shafts are specifically for Big Bertha, and they're using for Big Bertha here, and it's their RCH 5.5s. I think you can get 6.5s as well. Yes, you can. And the idea for these is specifically for this driver, nice and light, to get the best performance out there. Now, the most you can have is a light regular stiff. You can't get this club in extra stiff if you want it. The most you can get it is stiff. So do be aware of that, because I think that's the idea of who this club is aimed for. It's not aimed for someone who's going to be swinging 105, 110 plus. It's aimed at someone who's going to be swinging sub 100, let's be honest. So there you go. There's all the technology in this club. Now, I will just quickly say, obviously, they do have the normal sleeve, so you can, as I mentioned, put it up by 2 and down by 1, but there's also a draw setting in there as well. So if you want to increase the draw even more, you can close that club face by using that. Okay, there's all the technology, a lot to go through. So let's go down to the driving range, I'll throw some figures at you, and then we'll come back here for the ACS Golf Scale. Right, see you in a bit.
Here I am down the range on a very cold winter's day. Now let's jump straight into those figures. Remember, for me with the driver, I'm looking sort of 250 total yards and an average of ball speed around 150 miles per hour. So with this club, I was getting a carry average of 222 yards, total distance average of 249 yards, ball speed average of 154 miles per hour, launch angle 12 and height 64. Now, one thing I will mention about this club is it was very consistent. I kept on getting those draws. Don't get me wrong, there was the odd shot which I did push out right, as you will see in a second, but generally it was very consistent and I was very happy with it. When it came down to the height of it though, in the distance, I just felt that low spin just meant it didn't stay in the air as long as I felt it should have done. So that is definitely something to think about if you're looking at this club. But overall, it was really good. It was forgiving, it felt powerful, and it was generally a joy to hit. And remember, I had this at 10.5 degrees with a regular shaft. And so to get that launch, to get that consistency was very, very good.
So there you go, some figures for you guys for the Big Bertha. Now let's get straight into the ACS Golf Scale, which is distance, feel, looks, price, and forgiveness. So 5 categories which I'm going to go through, 5 being the best, 0 being the worst. And I can't believe that even though I've been doing this now for ages, I still have to look to remind myself what the categories are. So let's jump straight into distance. So for me, distance, I've given it a 3.5 out of 5, which is very good. You know, on average, I want my drive to be around 250 because of my launch angle, and I was getting 249, so not the end of the world. Ball speed, I'm normally looking around the 150 mark, but I was getting 154 with this, and a launch angle of 12, which is lower than I wanted. But you know, 154, but higher ball speed, I would have thought the distance would have been a bit better than, you know, on average 249. And it comes down to the spin. So I've got here a shot which carried 220 yards, total distance 250 yards, ball speed was a whopping 155 miles an hour. Launch angle was 14, so launch angle was pretty good. Yeah, close to where you want to be. Height was only 63 feet. And that's because it was a draw and the spin was down. So I didn't have enough spin to keep that ball in the air to maximize the distance for my swing. For example, you know, I always, when I'm at the range, I'm always practicing and everything like that. And I was just hitting the stealth, of course, on the day, you know, and I got the same thing here. I had a total distance of 255, so 5 yards longer. Yeah, ball speed the same, launch angle the same, but I was getting more height. I got 91 feet for height. So I just got an extra 5 yards. And the thing is, the carry was massively up. The carry was up by 21 yards. So because the carry was up so much, the height as well, it stopped more, so it didn't roll out as much as the Big Bertha. But you can just see that the spin does affect this, the low spin. So do be aware of that. One thing I will say though is I play my stealth at 12 degrees because of my attack angle. I actually had this set only at 10.5. So, you know, if I increase this and put this up to the max, it could be, so 12.5. Number one, that's going to help increase the launch angle. And number two, that's also going to help increase the spin. So then I could have probably got some really good distance out of it. So that's why I'm giving it 3.5 out of 5, because I find that there is definitely good distance in there, but I just hadn't found it. I haven't done 4, such as my stealth, because I've given the stealth 4 out of 5, because I wasn't getting the same ball speeds. You know, like I said, on average, I was getting 154. When I was doing the stealth on the day, I was actually getting 156. I was getting 2 more with the stealth. So that's why I haven't given it a 4, but it's on that 4. You know, if I fiddled around with this, got a higher launch with it, put it up to 12.5 degrees to increase the spin a little bit more, I would have got good results. But I'm already using a regular, which, you know, would increase my spin anyway, because normally I'm swinging around 98 miles per hour, which I was on the day on average. Actually, on the average, it was 99 on the day. So you would have thought that would increase the spin a little bit there. So just be aware the spin is relatively a little bit low with this. If you have a great launch angle, perfect. I don't really worry about it too much. The spin will probably be just right for you. If you've got a lower swing speed, but a massive slice, then, perfect, exactly what this club is looking for. But I will discuss that in more depth after we've finished going through the ACS Golf Scale. I will just quickly add the longest on the day for this for me was 255, to be fair, with a carry of 235. I also managed to get the spin up a little bit more with that, because the launch angle was actually only 10, but it managed to just get up a little bit. No, sorry, launch angle was 13, and I managed to get up to 74 feet, so I managed to get the spin a little bit better for that shot. So happy with that. So again, a few shots over that 250 mark, getting close to that 260. So generally happy, 3.5 out of 5. On to feel. So for me, I give it 3.5 out of 5. I think it felt nice across the face. I think it felt quite powerful. It has that forged titanium face. Did I think that it's I don't know, do I know exactly where I hit it? Maybe yes, but it's not the best driver I've felt in the world, because it's that sort of forgiving driver. But it did feel very powerful on the face, and it did feel nice. So I've given it a 3.5 out of 5. Moving on to looks. So I've given it 2.5 out of 5 because I'm just not a massive fan of that head shape. And that is the only reason. The only reason it's getting a 2.5 out of 5 is because of that head shape. Everything else about it, the color scheme, the bottom of it, the chrome top, the the little V there for the Callaway alignment aid, is very nice. I just don't like that head shape. So we'll move quickly on from that, 2.5 out of 5. Moving on to forgiveness. Now, obviously, this is the main thing for this club, and forgiveness, 4.5 out of 5. Don't get me wrong, I could still slice this if I wanted to slice it. I did attempt it a few times, and I did manage it. But were they the worst slices I've ever done in my life? No. And a majority of these shots were a draw. So it's doing exactly what it wants to do. And I will say, across the face, I mean, I didn't have any ball speed that necessarily dropped. I think, yeah, one. I had one that dropped under 150 for ball speed, 149. And the launch angle was awful as well, 10. That was really bad hit. And I only went 240 in total, but that's only 9 yards on average, down from the average. So it was good, and it was consistent. That's the thing. It was draw after draw after draw. Distance wise, for that to be the shortest, 240, 249, so it's only 9 yards difference there. And then the longest to be 255, which is only, again, 6 yards difference there. It was very consistent. So, and I was hitting across the face. So happy with that. 4.5 out of 5. Now, the final piece of this puzzle, price. So when I'm looking at brand new clubs, I don't necessarily look at the second-hand market. I'm looking at going to the shop, getting yourself fitted, and what you could pick it up brand new. So brand new in the UK, you can currently pick this up for £429. It's the cheapest I've seen, but on average it's £449. In the US, I've seen it is around just under that $500 mark. Compared to other brand new drivers, if you got this in the summer, a Paradigm would have cost you in the UK £599. In America, it would have cost you $599. So in America, you would have saved yourself $100 on this. And in the UK, you would have saved yourself £150 minimum on this over a Paradigm. Now, obviously, if you're going for the low spinner, or you've got a faster swing speed and you need extra shaft, then yeah, you won't be looking at this. But if you've got a slow swing speed and you're looking for something ultimately very forgiving, maybe the Paradigm X, then why not pick this up? If you're looking at Paradigm X, you could pick this up and save yourself money. So there you go. So overall, I've given it a 3.5 out of 5 because I think the price is very, very good for what this is. And as I've said, people have tested this against the Paradigm X, against the Paradigm, and this has actually come out on top. So why would you go out and spend the money on a Paradigm if you're looking for a draw bias driver like this? Why would you do it? You wouldn't. Go and get this. So 3.5 out of 5. Actually, take that back. 4 out of 5. I'm saying brand new. 4 out of 5 because it's great. I think it's a great price when it comes down to new drivers. Now, obviously, right now the Paradigm is about to be changed, so the price has dropped in the UK. Actually, I haven't seen any sales in the UK. Actually, no, I have. In the UK, I have seen it go for 499 at the moment. In USA, I've also seen 499, which is exactly the same price as this in the US. So the price is dropping. But again, this did beat the paradigm when being tested by a few people. So again, regardless of the price, this could be a better driver for you. So I would go, and when you get tested, if you want to buy a brand new driver now and you want to get tested for the paradigm, because the price has dropped, go and get tested for this as well. If you're not looking at the lower spin model, or you've got a faster swing speed. So there you go. And also remember, this is going into next year model. So next year, when they bring out the new Callaway, it's going to go up to £600 or even more, because the prices seem to be going up and up and up. So, who say this won't be any good compared to next year's model? So again, you could save yourself some money there. So 4 out of 5. I have changed my mind thinking about this more. So 4 out of 5, so very good. So overall, a very solid performance from this driver. And let's talk about who this is aimed at now. So could I put this in the bag? Being that 10.9 handicapper, 100% I could. Only issue for me is that draw setting. I tend to hit it with a draw anyway. And so for me, with my attack angle, I need a little bit more spin. But again, I could loft it up and give it a go. The only reason it's not going to go in my bag is because I hate the head shape. I absolutely hate that head shape. There we go. I hate it. I just, gives me the heebie-jeebies. So for me, it's not. But, if you're someone who, mid-handicap or even a low handicap who's looking for something that's low forgiveness, really low forgiveness, you don't mind a draw setting, you've got really good launch angle, you're swinging around that 100 miles per hour sort of ball mark, so you can use a stiff shaft, it's worth a go, to be fair. If you've got the launch angle, it is really worth a go. And obviously, this is aimed for people with a slice. Will it help fix your slice? No, go and get a lesson for that. Will it help to reduce your slice? Most likely, yes, because you've got that draw setting, because you've got the weight at the front to help reduce the spin, which, let's be honest, a slice is a very spinny shot. So there you go. So it will help you guys out there. If you're low swing speed and you've got good launch angle, yes, again, it could help. It's a very light club and it's aimed for you guys. But if you don't have that launch angle and you need something a little bit more spinny to help get that ball in the air, I would probably look for other options personally. So there you go. There's my review of the Callaway Big Bertha 23. Overall, I think it's a fantastic driver. I think in a right person's hand, it can be an absolute weapon. So if you're going to get yourself tested for a new driver, go and give this a go, because you might be pleasantly surprised. Don't be put off by the fact that, Callaway has now changed Big Bertha to their ultra forgiving sort of performance range. Don't be put by that, because this thing could gain you some really good yards. Okay, there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to give it a like if you did. Comment down below, would you game this bag or would you game this club, or would you, like me, not put in a bag because of that head shape? So do let me know in the comments down below. And obviously, guys, remember to subscribe to the channel so you do not miss on any other reviews like this. Okay, guys, I'll see you soon for the next ACS golf review. Bye-bye.